Hi everyone. So since everybody is bringing either bread or pears or something, I bought a product myself. This is actually the juice of fermented cabbages with freeze-dried algae and freeze-dried heads of shrimps that are normally thrown away. We can have a taste of this later. But this is the kind of things that we do. So who am I? Here in the lab, that's where you can find me, wearing a way too tight shirt, but using the ultrasound machine to extract, using sound to extract more flavors out of carrot peels and create new products. So I am a biologist, scientific nerd, if you will, passionate about food technologist at the moment, and product developer. So I created a food lab to just implement scientific research into food and combine my two passions, basically. So what we do is we research and develop food. This is beautiful kitchen. This is my lovely kitchen where I work with. It's 400 square meters of a regular kitchen that you can see. It's not so regular because we adapted with some lab equipment. All these equipment and the technologies within have one goal, is to develop new and innovative products. Of course, the lab has some teams. Every research lab needs to have some research teams. So food waste and develop products from food waste is a very important team within our lab. I will not go into details about the machines, but later on maybe. So basically what we do is whenever you have an idea, we are the place to go to try to develop that idea as fast as possible and as good as possible and as tasty as possible. So we try to create an environment where you get the space and the knowledge that you need to create your product. So we go from idea to production to develop your idea. We work for a lot of people, and that's just, the interesting part is we work for food companies, for chefs, for food startups, and we organize events. So I started actually my career here at this very, very nice restaurant. It's called Hertog Jan in Zedelhem, 3-star Michelin restaurant, where we run the test kitchen. It was a food waste project. They have this very large garden, and each year they have tons and tons of wasted products. And the goal was to bring this product to the lab and then to create a new menu, new products. And we developed 20 to 30 dishes or 40 products as well that we implemented and give to people. So normally wasted products, they were meant to go to pigs actually, I think, and then they went to people instead on a very nice and delicious form. So these are the kind of people that we work with. What we do there is inform them about new technology, new techniques, old techniques like fermentation, for instance, but also new technology to create more flavor, to create new products, to have new dishes, and to waste less, basically. So currently, for instance, we have a running, this is in Brussels actually, Bonbon, people know this place. They actually have a strong focus on food waste as well and developing new techniques to just waste less in the kitchen. It's a bit related to the talk we had earlier with that if we can implement creativity into restaurants, this will dribble down to the consumers as well and raise awareness. So most of the time we work with food companies. We'll give one example. So I have some bad news as well, is that if I needed to live by the only project that is directed to food waste, I will not be here today. So it's high on their agenda, but not as high as we want to, basically. So maybe enlighten this one. Super sour. It sounds very Japanese, but it's super sour. It's actually, we developed a product that is actually a replacement for limes and lemons in bars and festivals. If any of you goes to any festival in the summer, like Tomorrowland or whatever, you do realize that you have these lemons and these lime parts in your glass, right? And these somewhere on the line, this goes to the garbage, which is very unfortunate. Also, the amount of time and waste and the way these products are produced is very harmful for the environment. So we just created a product that could replace that. So no more lime juice or citrus juice, no more lime parts. And bars now all over, especially in Germany, are using that product a lot for sustainable concern. So we're also a food incubator. So basically what is a food incubator is that we just give our space to anyone who has a nice idea. So if you have a nice idea about food waste, please contact us. I will enlighten one of them. This is herbas. This is freeze-dried carrots, beets, and Brussels sprouts, actually, that are used as snacks. So basically this farmer approached me and said, I have all these leftover vegetables that my client chefs don't want to buy anymore. Can we do something with it? This started out as a crazy idea to just freeze dry it and deliver it as a healthy snack for kids, so they could eat more vegetables. This was considered way too new for Belgium at some point, so for Belgium retailers. But this apparently in Albert Heijn and Hanos and Netherlands, they like that a lot. So this is now on the market as a healthy snack. Actually, my daughter, who dislikes Brussels sprouts very much, now watches Netflix and just eats Brussels sprouts like chips, pretty much, which makes me laugh a lot. And we started 3 years ago, and the first thing, of course, I said, well, trash cooking is very important to us, so we started to do workshops as well. First to customers, then with chefs, and ultimately developing products. This is a vegan demi-glace, we call it, some sort of meaty-like sauce based on coffee grounds and the peels of vegetables. They have the same tasting profile as a classical non-vegan meat sauce, basically. We did a lot of molecular analysis on that to see how come this is the same profile. So we can now bring meatless sauces to chef without consumers noticing it, but also telling about it, how we make it with coffee grounds, actually, as an essential ingredient. But basically, so this is our workshop that we give. This is at Mary Poppin, also nominated for the Food Waste Awards, I think, later on. I think the only restaurant, so the only no waste restaurant in Belgium at the moment, located at Humus and Hortense, but they are moving to a new location. But I wanted to talk to you about this. So this is part of a new project. It's called Terroir, in cooperation with Flanders Circulaire. This is a project that we started out with my good friend here, Steven. Oh no, is Steven here? I see no hands. He's in the kitchen, always. But I started working with Steven quite, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, actually making soap out of wasted bits from the kitchen. And we handed out soap to people so they could go home with spiced leftover soap, basically based on old cooking oil and stuff like that. But we started up Terroir basically as a research project. As I said, I'm a lab, so we need to research something. And the goal was to research who we are and what product that we have. With the ultimate goal, if we have more knowledge about what we eat, basically, we will have more value, we will create value of these products and waste less. So we looked at basically the past and present and future of our current terroir. What is our terroir? That is actually the square meter where we are and what says something about who we are and what we do with our food. So I'm here to talk about shrimps, actually. So this looks lovely, right? I don't know for non-vegans, of course, but this is very nice. But when you look at the next picture, actually 60% of shrimps are thrown away. The heads, the peels, like that. Very, very tasty. We also had a look that a lot of tasty molecules are in the heads, are in the peels, actually, and give a lot of flavor to dishes. Chefs know that for ages. Maybe your grandmother knows that for ages making soup. But this is a real problem. So we talked to we looked at the past. This is very important to us. If anyone did this, I surely recommend this in Oost-Duinkerke. You can now have this fishing experience. People have done this since 1500 after Christus or something, since thousands of years. Horseback fishermen gathering shrimps. This is now since 2013 UNESCO heritage, I think. And when you see how much hard work this is to have this small, when you go to the supermarket and you see this little bucket of shrimps, and then you see these people working very hard to deliver that little basket of shrimps, then you create value. You think about what in that little boxes of shrimp. And like I said, a lot of that product, a lot of very goodness from that product is thrown away. So we also talk to fishermen. This is Willy Versluis. You probably remember Bubba from Forrest Gump. Surely, this is our local Bubba. I mean, he knows everything there needs to know about shrimp. So, but this is very important. This is very important knowledge to value that product, to know what you can do with it actually. He owns a lot of boats and he talked for hours and hours about shrimps actually. And this is very important to us to have data, and this data can be used to create new products. And then we talk to a chef. This is Willem Hiele, from Kokzijde. If you've never been there, please gather all your money and go there. At some point in your life. It's not that expensive, but it's very good. Here he is making his signature dish. It's actually a cappuccino of shrimp heads. No meat, not just the heads and the peels. And this is the most famous dish. I mean, when chefs all over the world talk about Belgium, they say, oh, we had this cappuccino of shrimp heads at Willem Hiele. This is actually what it looks like and how it is served. And what is on top of that, that's the ultimate thing. There's a little bit of coffee grounds, again, to enhance the flavor. So that's the full experience of creating something very delicious out of waste. So we worked together with them, and actually we used the heads and the peels, and we created a freeze-dried powder that is very, very, very tasty. And we used that powder to make my own product, actually, because it's very easy to make products for other people, but then for yourself, maybe you should. I thought to myself, yeah, maybe I should take the example and make a product myself. So this is actually this is fermented cabbages with some algae that we source in the Flemish region, and of course the powder of heads and peels of shrimps. We have, of course, no panic, a vegan version as well, but it's less tasty in my opinion. So this is really an umami bomb, like we said, very, very pungent. We don't use Asian fish shards or anything, just the powder of the heads of the shrimps. And this is this is very blurry, but that's fine. Actually, you are the first one to see this. Basically, this is just the labels of my of this new product. It's called Ferm, basically. It's also a way that we communicate it, basically. I pretty much give away, this works. I pretty much give away my whole recipe. And I pretty much give away how much of the ingredients are there, which type of ingredients are there, and why did we choose it. So if people want to copy my recipe, please do. But we want to really evaluate these ingredients and make sure that it's not really in a small label somewhere at the back of a label that you cannot read it and you don't know where it's from. So we really communicate that all these squares are actually how much of which product there is. This is my last slide, basically. So how is this product, this here, actually? It is who we are. It is the food lab, basically. It is based on the way we farmed it. I think about your talk earlier on. That's what we sat together with the farmer. I said, well, I look at my business plan and I need to sell 8,000 pots of this product to make me happy and to make my accountant happy. So I talked to the farmer and I said, if we make 8,000 pots, how many seeds do we need to plant? That it's just enough. And we will mark it that way, that when it's finished, it's finished. So we just planted just enough seeds to have my 8,000 pots. And we talked to the farmer, I said, about a month or so we planted. And we planted the seeds ourselves, and we just planted enough. We have, of course, the food waste ingredient, the heads of the shrimps. We have the innovation parts. How can we maximize taste with minimum waste just by using a technique like freeze drying to have the maximum out of this shrimp's heads? We just innovated a bit about a very old technique. I didn't invent fermentation, but people before there were fridges used fermentation for thousands of years to preserve food. And now it's very popular again, but it's also very useful and very tasty, very healthy. So the way we tackled, we just implemented fermentation in that product as well. And then we looked at production. We use pretty much everything. At the moment, we have 0.5 of 1% loss in the way we produce this product. And this is mainly human error, meaning I'm very clumsy. But normally we maximize that at 1%. Everything else is used and comes in the pot. So that's it. That's the sauce. Actually, it was not meant to be a sauce, but then you have to look at the clients, of course, and at the customers. And people didn't want the fermented vegetables, they wanted the sauce. So we made the sauce, basically. And that's what you can find right here. I will just walk around later on with bottle in the hand, and if you want to taste, please join me and have a shot. It has all the probiotics and it has all the taste that you want, and it's of course with shrimps. I'm sorry, I don't have the vegan version with me, but you're very welcome to have a taste. I think there's 2 or 3 other people that tasted so far. So the age of this product is about 1.5 years that we fermented this. It's perfectly safe, and we have just preserved cabbages for that long and other products. So just by a natural fermentation process. So that was my food lab take on product development and how we tackle food waste every day at the lab, basically with our own product. And I thank you very much.